Saban looked like he aged 10 years. He is. I mean, he's 70, so he's not like he's a young man anymore. Has he lost his edge now? No, he's still the best coach in the country. But it's clear it may not happen because you never know. But Georgia called next on Dynasty, and for Alabama to win another title, they're going to have to go through Georgia once, maybe twice. But all of a sudden, for after Alabama's win today, that schedule looks a lot tougher. Arkansas looks tougher. We'll see what Tennessee does against Pitt today. They look terrible 9 minutes in. Not going to lie to you. They're already down 10-0. So let's see. What else have you guys talking about? J.J. McCarthy, which you're talking about Alabama, Texas, but best of luck to him tonight. And this is true. Texas is at a point in its program where they need to learn how to win games. You saw them last year. They lost a lot of one-score games. I hate the term like learn to win because it's kind of goofy. You just kind of win a game. But there is some truth in it. Some team like Nebraska, they just don't know how to win games. They get down to the end and they just don't know. They do something stupid or just something goofy and yeah, they just don't know how to win. And they need to get over that hump. And Sark, at least for the first half, when Ewers was in the game, was in his bag, man. He knew what to call, and he's a good coach. I'm good for Sarkisian to get over his demons at Washington and USC, and who knows where Texas will be in 5 years, but they're going to be upset today because they're going to feel like they should have won that game. You kick 4 field goals and miss a 20-yarder, but they're going to come back Tuesday, and fans can be pretty excited. Like, okay, we're on the right track, at least after today. And then 2 weeks from now they lose to Kansas State or something, and the Austin's on fire. But we'll get there when we get there. Saban will coach another 10 years. I don't know about 10. His contract, what now? 2029, 2028. No, DKR had a great atmosphere today. No, it's not as tough as a swamp. It's more, like I said, it's more of a pro crowd where it's noisy, but it's not aggressively absurd. Like you see, like no one's calling timeout because they can't hear a play call on the first play of the game like you would at Penn State or LSU. But no, that was a great atmosphere today, which is good because unfortunately for Texas fans, that game was at 11 a.m. and it was only a nice, cool 126 degrees down on the turf. What are you thinking? Does Fox not think they could compete with Florida, Kentucky, or Baylor, BYU for the late night spot? That should have been a night game. It would have looked so cool. But no, 11 a.m., whatever. It was a great game. Good game of football. Sloppy game of football, but a good game of football. Talking about just Alabama as a whole, the run game for Alabama, not good today. I don't know how many of you were here last week when we did the Utah State breakdown. But I even said in the Utah State game, the running game looked better than it had last year. Last year, the run game wasn't explosive. And today they had the one explosive run. McClellan went 81 yards for a touchdown. But other than that, it just wasn't. The run game was really mediocre. Gibbs didn't look that good in the run game. He had the one, like what was as long as 7. And if you take away the 7-yarder, 8 carries for 15 yards. That's not even 2 yards a carry. And he was only at 2.4 yards a carry anyway. Did I like the game? Yeah, I had a blast watching the game. I had Mizzou K-State on one TV that I quickly turned off because that game was atrocious football. And then I had Alabama atrocious on one side. K-State looked good. And then I had Alabama on my big TV. Of course I enjoyed it. It's college football, guys. We're in week 2. If you're not enjoying it right now, what are we doing? If you're not enjoying a close game between two iconic brands, I mean, if you're a Bama fan or a Texas fan, you're chewing your fingernails and you're sweating, but you got to enjoy it.